I first heard about Rocky our junior year in high school. The Springfield Newsletter wrote a story on him. It was called A Heart for Valentine, about his diagnosis and also him playing sports. And then I never would have guessed that the following year we ran into each other at the Blue and Gold tournament.
Perfectly normal childhood growing up. Played tons of sports, very active. Parents would say rambunctious, probably. But in the middle of my 7th grade basketball season, got very sick around New Year's. I had the flu. By early March, was getting ready to start baseball and began coughing up blood in the mornings in the shower, which was kind of a red flag. Doctors thought I had kind of just an upper respiratory infection, and that was what was causing it, and had an inhaler for a week or so. Didn't help any, continued coughing up blood, and that actually went from just in the mornings to throughout the days. So I was diagnosed on March 21st, 2000. I was diagnosed with dilated cardiomyopathy. Doctor told my mom I had enlarged heart. Mine was pretty significantly large. Doctors said it was one of the largest that they had seen. From there, we went to Springfield to a pediatric cardiologist. Instantly had a battery of tests, EKGs and stuff that night, and then came back home continuing with just medications to try to either slow the enlargement or to bring back more function. Neither worked at that point, so we were all in on what the next step was, which was going to be a transplant, in which we were informed. And at that point, my health continued to deteriorate, and we went into the hospital. And I was only in the hospital for around 3 days as my status changed from 1B to 1A, and then a heart became available on June 3rd of 2000, and surgery was that day, and I was out of the hospital the next Saturday. My strength came back very quick and was doing quite well right off the bat.
We dated for about 5 years.
Made her wait a long time.
Before we got married in September of 2009.
After we were married, we knew we were going to start a family. And we were very upfront with our doctors, or my doctors, that we wanted to do that. And would it be an issue? Would there be any type of heart-related issues that any future children would have? And since they really weren't confident in what caused my issue, they saw no issues with us proceeding.
So I had a healthy pregnancy. Lila was born in August 24th, 2011. Healthy little girl. First 6 months, she was the top of the charts for height and weight. Doctors thought she was doing great. March 6th, I took her in to the pediatrician because a few days before she'd started grunting when she would sit up, and she was just learning how to sit up. And so I took her in because I was concerned, kind of a red flag for being a nurse. They thought it was respiratory issues. Did a breathing treatment, didn't help. They did a chest x-ray, found out she had an enlarged heart. Then we were admitted to Springfield Mercy.
And it wasn't, 5 seconds after I had gotten into the room that we were set down and were told that Lila
She was in heart failure.
That she was in heart failure, and it was worded just like that.
They tried to do the PICC line in and it didn't work, but that following Monday, they did a cardiac cath. Found out that she was much more sick than they thought. That evening, she couldn't breathe very well, so she was intubated. And then May 22nd, she was placed on the transplant list as a 1A status.
I didn't consciously think about how sick I was, but with Lila, you see how family members feel so helpless, and you're just kind of trapped in that. You want to be there, you want to do something, but there's nothing I could do that would make Lila feel better, or anybody that's sick feel better.
That Saturday, we got our first phone call that they had a donor heart available. They prepped her throughout the day, did all of her testing, and found out that the donor heart wasn't the right one for her. It wasn't quite strong enough. And that Tuesday morning, we got another phone call for a donor heart. I was just like at peace, and I felt that was the heart for Lila. We're forever grateful for their family and their decision to donate life, because it's given Lila another chance. She is 16 months old, a very happy little girl. She started walking beginning of December. She walks all over the house. Will say a few words. She knows what a lot of different animals say.
Right now, they've done testing on both myself, Lila, and then also Brianna, and there hasn't been any definitive links between a gene of mine that Lila has that has an issue. They said that in the future they might be able to pinpoint it, but at the present time they haven't been able to find it. It's an honor to be able to thank the people that have had a hand from top to bottom of doctors and nurses and just people involved with the care, and knowing what the outcome would have probably been without the funding and the research and everything that organizations like the American Heart Association has done over the last how many ever years. Knowing what they provided me and are going to provide Lila and the research that they're going to do, it's life-changing.